Now let's take a look at the insmod utility and what it does. So I have taken some notes here that I'm going to explain because the flow is kind of interesting. So when we say insmod followed by, let's say, ldd.ko, which is the module, right? That's what this line says here. So the first thing that will happen is insmod will call a function called init module, and this function will hint to the kernel that a module insertion is attempted, right? That is what I have written here. Now what then happens is the control transfers to the kernel, and the kernel code, again at this point, when we did sudo insmod ldd.ko, this was from the user space, right? So insmod then, by calling this function internally, what it has done is transferred the control to the kernel space, which is more secure, right? More secure, more privileged, so on and so forth. And within that, then the kernel now knows the name of the module, so it kind of has some hint to what module is being attempted, kind of to be loaded. So the control is transferred to the kernel. Then after that, the kernel calls the sys init module function, and as part of that, it verifies the permission on this module, right? Does the user have the permission to load these, and so on and so forth. Then it also further calls the load module function. And actually, let me, I see that, okay, right here, what I should have done is you know, done something like so, just so that, we see like a nice list. And let me just quickly edit this file, and then we'll go back to our explanation. Nice. Okay. So let's just quickly recap. So insmod called init module, an internal function. This indicated to the kernel that a module loading is being attempted. This calls the sys init module, which kind of verifies whether or not the permissions are proper for the user to be loading this, and also on the file, by the way, right? And then further it goes and calls the load module routine, right? And this load module function will now check the sanity of the .ko. The .ko happens to be an ELF file. It's an object file, loadable kernel module file. So what it will do is it will like check whether or not all the data is rightly specified in the header, right? And so essentially just doing some sanity checks on that queue. And then after that, it will create memory in the kernel space. It will carve out some memory region for the code to be copied to. And then again, recall that when we did insmod, the code was, or this command was executed from the user space. And so now the code needs to be copied to the kernel space, the code from ldd.ko. So space was created for it, and then the kernel copies over that image into the kernel space, image meaning the ko. And then after that, it resolves symbols, right? If there were certain symbols from the kernel that the module was using, then those symbols are resolved, right? And after all of that is done, a reference to this loaded module meaning loaded code and resolved symbols, all of that clean stuff, all of that memory related reference is then returned back to the load module, right? And then that is what I'm listing here, that this the reference, now this reference that the load module returned, this reference is added into a linked list of modules that the kernel is maintaining. And then after that, the control or the kernel then will go ahead and actually call the function that is listed in the module init macro, right? So which is this, right? So The kernel then, after adding it to the linked list, will go ahead and execute this function. And if this function successfully exits, then the module is loaded. Then the kernel will flag that module as active and available. And if something goes wrong, all of this process that we were discussing, all of what is listed right here, if this fails, okay, the color changed, nice. So if this fails, then the kernel will take it out of the linked list and everything will work backwards, and this will return failure. And insmod will then complain that the module could not be loaded. So hopefully you're convinced that the insmod essentially leads to this avalanche of effect of function calls. And towards the end of that function call, essentially, the kernel has added the reference to the copied code with resolve symbols and so on and so forth to a doubly linked list. Well, actually a linked list, and could be doubly singly linked, that I do not recall at the moment, but it's a linked list. And in that linked list, the kernel is maintaining reference to this module, the executable code for it. And then after that, whatever was specified as part of the module init macro, that function is called. And if that function succeeds, the module is marked as active. And if it doesn't succeed, then it works its all the process works backwards. The kernel will delete this entry, free up the space, complain back to insmod, essentially, that the process failed. And then insmod prints the message on the screen saying the module loading failed, right? And that's what we saw when we had changed this here to -1, right? So the kernel did attempt to process it, printed this message in the kernel buffer, um, right? And then at this point, the things failed and it worked itself backwards, and insmod had complained to us. So that then is like a hint at some details of how insmod works and why we are using it. In the next one, we'll explore rmmod and other utilities.